Hello everybody. We're going to take a look at a drawing I did about a year ago of a famous blues guitarist slash singer, Samantha Fish. And it's a great example of the three-quarter view. And in this particular case, the person is turning towards the camera and you're just catching that cheekbone and the edge of the eyebrow in a really pretty good three-quarter. You'll notice that the eye on the right side of the face is closer to the nose, and then the eye on the left side of the face is further away. When you see those kinds of differences, you know that you're working with a three-quarter view. And some of the examples I gave you are a little bit more severe, where the nose is almost kind of cutting into the eye. And in this case, it's not quite a symmetrical face. So you've got that cheekbone that's really guiding you and showing you that you're working with a three-quarter view. One of the things that you may have gleaned from the previous video that I had put up on your page was how important values are when you're working with a three-quarter view, because you are turning the head in space, and it's important to take advantage of things like shadows to allow you to see the head in space and have things like depth and more of a 3D kind of look. In this particular case, I'm putting a lot of energy into those shadows, and I continue to build with them and kind of sculpt with them as the drawing proceeds. One of the things that I hope that you guys notice is I tend to work from light to dark. So I start off with very thin, skinny, light lines, and then I will return with another layer of lines, which each time I return, it darkens the value. And it kind of looks a little sloppy and messy when you first start out this way, but as you put on more and more layers and continue to revisit certain parts of the drawing, it starts to smooth out, and you really start to see a nice difference between lightness and darkness. And you'll notice this in the drawing. And there are other aspects of this drawing that are noteworthy. For example, trying to create textures, and definitely trying to take advantage of the white paper as far as highlights go or reflections go. I used writing on this as my figure ground support, and I think that's something that any of you all can do too. If you choose to focus in like on a singer, you could write some poetry or have some lyrics to a song in there and use those words and those letters to support the overall image that you've got. In this case, I really put a lot of focus on the leather jacket, and even something like a black leather jacket, I started off very loosely with very light lines and kind of mapped out where the shiny areas would be and where the darker areas would be. That way I could come in and just keep putting layers of darker and thicker and fatter lines into the drawing. You'll notice at this point in the drawing, both her hair and her face are really starting to take on the overall gray tone that they need, and the other side of her face, on that quarter side, the thinner side, I've not really touched it. I'm just letting it stay bright white so that it becomes an attention getter, so that you want to look at it. And it's kind of a neat drawing because she's making a face at whoever the photographer was that clicked the picture. She's sticking her tongue out and kind of messing up their shot, which is cool and shows personality. You'll see that I continue to revisit the hair, I continue to revisit the face, I continue to revisit the jacket, and it becomes somewhat of a balancing act where you're just kind of looking at all the different points of the drawing to see, where can I add more deeper values, and where should I not touch it? Where should I leave it alone so that the white of the paper still shows through and leaves this really bright area. And that's, I think that kind of goes that way with a lot of drawings when you do them. You're trying to make those choices of what to touch and what not to touch, what to leave alone and what to go back and revisit and work on. See, even the lettering I treat the same way. I start off with thinner, lighter lines, and then I revisit with heavier, darker lines. Well, good luck on this. I hope that you guys can make it through this last assignment of the quarter. All right, that's it for now. Bye.